I'm super creeped out by the man I went on a date with. I'm immediately creeped out. That's all I needed to know to be creeped out. This story came in September of 2025. I, 30 female, was talking to a guy, 30 male, that I met on Tinder a month or so ago. I've been on these dating apps on and off for a couple of months now, and wow, it's rough out there. I was about ready to delete all of them when I matched with this guy. We hit it off super well. He was thoughtful, funny, and could genuinely hold a conversation. After a couple of days of talking on and off, we moved straight to Snapchat. I only use Snap to verify someone is real and to avoid giving my number out. We talked throughout most of the following week and a half, and I really liked him. So when he asked to see me that upcoming Friday last week, I was very excited. I'm a single mom and I have a pretty high-level job, so I'm left making decisions all day, every day. And he knew that, so he suggested that he would love to plan the whole date for us. He seriously sends an itinerary. He bought us seats at a black light painting class and then to an arcade bar when we're done. Even suggested wearing comfy shoes since we were going to be standing most of the night. It was so thoughtful, and honestly, I was pretty impressed. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed.
Not bad.
Minus the fact that he is possibly a serial killer, but I'm impressed so far. We met in the painting class parking lot. The class was so much fun. When we were done, he even asked if someone could take our picture holding the painting so we could look back on it. At the time, I thought it was pretty romantic. As we were leaving, he asked if I wanted to have him drive us to the bar. I agreed. I was really looking forward to it. That night continued to be so much fun. I kicked his ass in pool and ping pong, and after we got tired, we decided to stop next door to this cute martini bar at the end of the night. While we were there, it was somehow brought up that he would never approach a woman in a bar. He asked if I would, and I said yes, I have in the past. So, flirting, he asked if I would show him how I would do it. So, having a ton of fun, I get out of my chair and I started role playing. I came up and I said, "Hey, my friend over there thinks you're super cute," pointing across the bar. Then I literally make a sprint for it and run to a chair across the room. That is so funny. Kind of adorable. Then I waved at him. At that point, we were both laughing so hard. I came over and I asked for his number, since at that point I only had his Snapchat. A little bit later, he gets a phone call and steps out. I thought nothing of it. It was loud there. But then maybe 10 minutes later, he calls me, saying that I need to come outside. So as I go outside, I notice that he's all the way down the street. It was odd. I walk down there to meet him and he says, "My friend just called. She's having issues with her boyfriend and wants me to come stay with her." At that point, my balloon popped. I mean, I somewhat understood. I have guy friends, but it was weird and I resigned it to the date being over. I said, "Okay, well, let's just go then." It was late anyways. He said no because he told her that he can't just leave me. I took that as he wants me to go, but feels like he can't. So I insisted, "No, please just take me back to my car. It's totally okay." Because, okay, even if that were true and he didn't want to go, why would he have me close the tab and walk down the whole street just to tell me that? He didn't have to bring up the call at all. True, he could have just ended the night and then went and helped his friend. He said he didn't want to, but would because I asked. So this is where it gets scary. The drive home was weird and silent. Once we got to my car in the parking lot, it was empty. It's dark, it's maybe 12 a.m. I get out of the car and so does he. I hug him goodbye, but then he just doesn't let go of me. He tells me that I don't have to go. I say, yes, I'm leaving, and I try to kindly push him off of me, but he doesn't even budge. So then I very directly say to him, "Let me go." He lets go immediately and holds his hands up like I'm being crazy. I walk around to my driver's side of the car and he follows me. He stands between me and the car. He asks if he can have another chance and tries to hug me again. I step backwards, avoiding it. He then suggests that we can still have sex if I wanted to. I said no. So then he said, "Can I at least get a goodbye kiss?" I said no again, but then he kept asking, "Please, come on." So then I just did, thinking that he would just let me go home if I did. I've got a feeling he did not. He opens my car door for me to get in, but he holds the door open, standing there like the actual man emoji, saying nothing. I say, "What? Please shut my door." and he asks if he can have another chance. I honestly felt like he wouldn't shut my door until I agreed to it, so I did. Then he says, call me when you get home, and I say, I'll text you. And he said, no, you're going to call me. And then he shuts the door. But then he just stands there, blocking my car. So I hesitantly roll my window down and I tell him to move. He asks again if I really will give him another chance. As I'm slowly driving away, trying not to hit him, I yell, sure. To that, he comes back up to my car, making me hit my brakes, and puts his hand on my windowsill, rolled down my window, and says, okay, call me when you get home. I said, okay. I drove off immediately and started crying because I was just so overwhelmed. I don't text him or call, but maybe 20 minutes later, he calls me on Snapchat over and over again. I turned my phone off. I figured I just needed some sleep and maybe I was just overthinking things. I did have a couple of drinks. The next morning, I get a long Snapchat from him saying how impressed he was by me and that he's so sorry about that phone call. She's just a friend and that he wants another chance. I respond, calling him out on his behavior and that he's apologized for the wrong thing and that he terrified me. At that point, he video called me again on Snapchat, but I just blocked him. Then he called me on his cell phone, so I blocked that. I continue to block him on everything, even if we didn't follow each other. On Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Tinder, Hinge. Maybe an hour later, I get a text from a random unsaved number with an enormous message from him. Bruh. Starting it as, quote, I realize you've blocked me. I'm not trying to intrude or stalk you in any way, but... And then profusely apologizes for the way he made me feel and that he won't ever reach out to me again without consent. So I blocked that number. I did not respond. If I had to guess, that was from his work phone that I had seen in his car. When I was getting out at the bar, I said, oh, you forgot your phone. And he said, oh no, that's just my work phone. A week goes by and I hear nothing. But then I get a message from Social Flowers. I was confused. I never heard of it before. But it's flowers that you can send anonymously. I feel like that's a stalker's dream. It had a super cringy message. My birthday was in a couple of days, and it said, pre-birthday wishes. Like petals kissed by dawn, they carry a tender wish, unfolding sweetness to wrap your heart in light and warmth, a quiet gift to brighten your soul's garden. These flowers hold my wish to mend any missteps. Each petal a quiet regret and hope to make it right. You left a lovely impression. I would love another chance. Then he signed it with his Instagram handle instead of his name. WTF. I declined the flowers. After a couple days, I hadn't received anything, so I thought maybe it was over. But then while I was at work, I got a notification on Snapchat that a blocked user had created a new account. This was the random number he texted me from. I'm assuming it's his work phone. I had saved it under his name and I blocked it just in case. I'm glad I did. I immediately blocked the new Snapchat, scared that he would try to add me or reach out again. I'm so confused because my friends are laughing it off as if he wanted to, he would type of jokes, but I'm genuinely creeped out. I've bought pepper spray and I'm constantly looking over my shoulder when I'm in public. Am I overreacting? What do I even do? I feel like something should be reported. I don't know to who or for what, but this does not seem normal. I mean, you were the one there, so ultimately you're gonna know how creepy and unsafe you felt. That all the date leading up to it felt so normal until the end of the night. I don't know. I'm getting weird vibes too. He's very persistent. For one date, like the amount of lengths he's going to reach out to you and the messages and it's a little much. It's giving creepy. So I feel like I would be creeped out. We're gonna head to the Reddit comments. Someone said, the date sounded so insanely nice up until the very end. You're not overreacting. I would be so disappointed. Like, wow, I had this amazing date, but this guy can't ever take a no, doesn't respect boundaries, and is probably in a relationship. Ugh, sorry, it's rough out there. If my spouse gets hit by a bus, I think I'm gonna get 10 cats and never date again. That's where I'm at. If I ever had to date again, I just wouldn't.
Good. Don't.
Next comment. Have you filed for a restraining order? You'll have to pay for them to serve him, but this is clearly enough for you to get a temporary order served. Depending on your state, if he violates that, you should be able to get a permanent one. It can actually restrict him from owning weapons. Oh, I did not know that. Next comment, you've underreacted. He clearly was guilty because he felt like he had done something wrong by going to stay with his friend, who he's seeing, by the way. He then works to make it your fault things didn't go well and works at guilting you into going out with him again. He asks questions which are inappropriate given he ended the date and then proceeded to act like it was still ongoing. Then he stalks you. If he'd even stopped after the initial insane attempts, that might be one thing, but he's a threat to your safety. I want to know where you guys feel on the creepy scale. Level 1 to 10. Where are we at? It's got to be at least an 8, you know? It's up there for a first date. Like, you're oddly attached after one date. Like, let it rest. If I'm blocking you, it's for a reason. We have our first update. I'm so glad I posted this because I genuinely see how serious it really is now. I haven't dated much, so this opened my eyes quite a bit. After a few comments, I wanted to elaborate on a few things. Number 1, I did report him to Tinder. 2, we were out for about 6 hours. I had a drink while painting, then a drink at the martini bar. I was not intoxicated. I realize any amount of alcohol in driving is unsafe, but I was willing to take the chance in order to get away from him as quickly as I could. Hell, I even kissed him. It is not something I would have done in any other circumstance. Oh, I forgot about that y'all both drove and drank. Number 3, I have alerted my manager since he knows where I work. It doesn't make sense to me either why he would do this. I was confident that he was such a good guy until we left. It was like his personality completely flipped, which left me confused and doubting myself. Since he seemed so genuine and sweet for weeks that I was actually going crazy trying to justify how he ended it. Like, maybe it really was just a misunderstanding. I realize now it wasn't, and I'm so glad it happened on the first night. I can't imagine how things would have gone if our relationship progressed and he got my address. But I really would have looked past that phone call. Lastly, for those of you asking, this is what he sent me from his work phone after I called him out and blocked him. Ooh, we got the whole message. Prepare myself. I need to channel. Crazy man. I understand that you've blocked me on everything, and I completely respect your need to cut me off. I'm not trying to intrude or stalk you in any way, I swear to God, but this text is just to express how deeply sorry I am for what happened. I had no idea you felt scared or mistreated, and learning how my actions affected you has shaken me to my core. I was at Walmart at the time that I read your text, and I was stunned. The Walmart employee came over to ask if I was even all right. I stood there for 5 minutes in shock, unable to move. There was clearly a miscommunication on my part, and I take full responsibility for that. When I stood by your car as you were leaving, I thought it was a normal gesture to ensure that you drove off safely, something I've always done out of care, to make sure the woman leaves before I leave. But now I can see how it would come across differently, and I'm heartbroken that I made you feel trapped or held hostage in any way. You had every right to feel the way you did, and I'm so sorry for not recognizing your discomfort at the moment. It was never my intention to pressure you or make you feel unsafe. I swear on my mama and God above, that is the truth. For the past several weeks that we've spoken, I've tried to be so respectful and kind, always seeing you in the best beautiful light. You're truly the most beautiful woman I've ever met, inside and out. I swear to God, I wasn't raised to act with bad manners or ill intent, and knowing I made you feel otherwise has left me shattered and changed. I deeply regret failing your honor and your boundaries and making you feel anything less than safe and respected. I don't expect a reply, and I want you to know I won't ever contact you again unless you choose to reach out first. I respect your decision completely. I just needed to share this to clear my conscience and let you know how sincerely sorry I am. I'm committed to learning from this and ensuring it never happens again. I wish you nothing but peace and safety moving forward. My deepest apologies once again. It is my hope to make it right by you. Seems like a genuine message at first, but considering what he did after he sent it, makes me think he's just a really good talker. Probably how we got one to trust him so quickly. quickly. And honestly, this was somewhat of the reason why I felt like I was overreacting. I'm planning on reporting it to the police, and if anything else happens, I will file an order for protection. Right, because he sent the flower thing after this, so you aren't respecting your boundaries, and you are contacting me before I reach out to you first. So, we do have more updates though. It does not stop there, but first, we all need some water, okay? This is your reminder. It's Hydration Station. Drink your water. Cheers!
Someone's taking a nap, so let's go bug her. Yeah, you! Hi, baby. Oh, you're so loving today. You're so sweet. I love you so.
You guys, for those of you concerned about her little heart murmur, it is on the low scale. If you missed the news, they're not concerned, but we are doing little breath tests to make sure she is not coughing at all. And she had her own little breath test the other day, and it was totally normal and good.
Right?
Okay, look at that side eye. Okay, girl, we were just loving on each other a second ago, but cool. All right, so the next update came 3 days later. It got worse. I was supposed to go out the other night with a friend to the clubs downtown, relatively around the same area we went on the date. No. I hope this is not foreshadowing into you running into him. And luckily I had other plans, so I couldn't go. Oh. The next morning, I woke up to phone calls from that friend that went out, telling me to call him as soon as I got up. He proceeds to tell me that he and his friend were at a bar when he gets tapped on the shoulder. He turns around and it's the guy I went out on the date with. He apparently was going around asking people if they knew me. Mind you, this man does not live in this city. He lives about an hour north of where I am. My friend, not realizing who it was at the time, said he knew me. The stalker proceeds to ask him where he can find me or if he knew how he could contact me. Obviously, all of his alarms were going off, and my friend said he didn't know me well enough to have any of that information, but asked him why. The stalker says, "Last time we talked, we had a miscommunication and I just need to clear things up. I just want to talk, man. I just want to talk to her." My friend quickly shuts it down, saying he won't be much help, but that if I wanted to talk to him, he is sure that I would have reached out. And left it at that. He took pictures of him and the friend he was with, and I immediately called the police, only to find out my neighbor, I live in a duplex, so we share the same house, said that last night someone was ringing our doorbell at 1 a.m. No. My dad came over and installed Ring doorbell cameras. The police are patrolling my street. They said I have enough to press charges of harassment and stalking. Oh my God, all over one date? You would never date again after this. We're heading back to the comment section. First comment, hold the F up. Wait, so this man drove an hour to come prowl around the bars looking for you and asking people if they knew you? With what? Your pictures? Saying he just wants to talk? Arrest that man right now because he does not just want to talk. All the credit to your friend for playing dumb. Wow. Also, I guarantee you it was not just that night that he was down there looking for you. What are the odds that he would run into your friend? God is on your side. Please stay safe. This is a horror story. I'm so glad I'm not single. Amen. Amen to that. Okay? Bunch of crazies out there. I've never been so happy to have a ring on my finger. I don't know about you guys, but I am dying to find out how this ends. And we do have the final update to wrap this all up in a nice bow for us. The update came, on Christmas, December 25th, 2 months after the first post. So this whole journey has only been 2 months. So this is how it ended. I'm still shocked and I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I had originally left out a part in my first post. It was already so insanely long and it didn't seem relevant at the time. I kept out the part where I ran into an acquaintance during the first date. I had met this guy one other time, let's call him Corey, and he was with a girl, let's call her Morgan. I met Corey several weeks prior at a bar. He was part of the friend group that I was with and just took him as a typical super fun gay guy in the group. Since that day, he had been hitting me up almost weekly, asking me to hang out. I don't go out often, so that combined with being a bit weirded out on his persistence, I never met up with him. Fast forward to the day I had the date. He reached out again, asking if we could go to the bars, but I said that I was going on a date and I would not be available. He asked where we planned to be, and I told him, not thinking that he would actually show up. Later that night, he shows up to the martini bar that we're in. He introduces me to Megan. Is it Morgan or Megan? Oh, it was Megan. I got it wrong. I called her Morgan. But then for some reason, they both sit down next to us. That's when my date got the phone call. So while he was outside, I was with these two people. But where it gets strange is Corey was the one that I was supposed to meet up with that night, but I didn't go. He was the one that called to tell me that the stalker had been going around asking people if they knew me. But then Megan comes into the picture. Apparently, when they ran into the stalker downtown, the stalker was with a guy that Megan would hook up with, according to her, but didn't know well. After that night, she all of a sudden started sending me messages letting me know how brave I am, that she's so sorry this is happening, this is crazy, blah, 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 and then sending screenshots of her friend asking about me. She even sent screenshots of him asking her to set me up so the stalker could come talk to me. But she insisted she trusted his friend. It felt off. This whole thing feels off. Something was weird. At one point, she did ask me to come hang out with her and Corey, but she would say they would keep me safe and nothing would happen. Quote, let's just have a fun night to get our mind off of it. At first, a part of me was thankful that I had them looking out and sending me these warnings or having insight, but then all of a sudden, it's like a switch flipped and I had this super weird gut feeling that they were involved somehow. I don't know. But it was like my reality shifted. I realized every single thing that had to do with this stalker looped directly back to them. They were involved in every moment. I was going crazy trying to figure out if it was coincidental. But I never ended up hanging out with either Corey or Megan, despite their continued persistence. I eventually called the police and filed a report. They found him and told him if he reaches out to me ever again or to any of my friends, he would be arrested and served with a restraining order. From that day, I literally have never heard from him, Corey, or Megan again. A few family members think that they were just all mixed in and were innocent, but my friends think that it was more sinister. With all that said, I'm okay, I'm safe, and a hell of a lot more careful when it comes to dating or meeting new people, which I don't plan on doing anytime soon. I appreciate the support from all of you. I'm curious, do you guys think it was like a mix-up and all these people knew each other and it was innocent, or is this giving weird and creepy and sinister? I'm uncomfortable. And no matter what, I think you have to go with your gut. If something is giving red flag, safety alerts going off, you don't feel right in your gut, like something's not right here, always listen to it. I'd rather be wrong than be right. That didn't make sense. Like, I'd rather be wrong about him being weird. You know what I'm trying to say. Brain is not braining, okay? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.